My pearl of wisdom as you recalibrate for the year ahead or prepare to transition to a new school is consider the value of creating norms for your learning community. Well, greetings from sunny but very windy Florida. We are watching closely the path of Hurricane Elsa to see what is in store for us over the next couple of days. It's really a pleasure to be able to share a pearl of wisdom with you this morning. Excuse me, I have just finished my 4th year as the high school principal at the American Community School of Abu Dhabi. And prior to that, I was an administrator and teacher at Zurich International School. So our family often jokes that we traded the mountains for the desert, but we've been very, very happy in the UAE. So the pearl I chose to share with you this morning proved to be essential for our community during the last 15 or 16 months. I want to use the time this morning to talk about the value of establishing norms, not for a meeting, not for an event, but for the day-to-day work of an entire learning community. And as you know, norms are shared agreements about how a group will work together. And they help us answer questions like, how will we treat one another? How will we engage with challenging content? And what will we do if we disagree? And many of us have experienced the power of norms in professional development or learning experiences like the PTC. And prior to arriving in Abu Dhabi, I participated in a week-long training where our facilitator offered us 4 very, very simple norms. And as the week unfolded and I saw these norms come into play, I wondered, what impact would these norms have if they served as the foundation for an entire learning community? And so my arrival at ACS Abu Dhabi was the opportunity to answer that question. So the norms that our facilitator shared were very, very simple. And I think that's somewhat why they're so powerful. And the 4 norms were step up, make room, seek wisdom, and assume good intentions. And so during my first few weeks in Abu Dhabi, I made the intentional decision to use our faculty meetings and our parent meetings as a platform to offer these norms as a guide to our daily work and our interactions with one another. And during these meetings, we co-constructed a shared understanding of what each norm meant. In other words, we sat together and we determined what would it look like if someone stepped up in our community? What would we expect to hear if someone was seeking wisdom? And in what ways these norms could serve as an important safety net for us, thinking about when we decide to try something new in our classrooms or offer a different perspective in our meetings. And then most importantly, in those early days, we challenged one another to uphold these norms as we work to build a new culture, to strengthen our relationships, to strengthen our community, and most importantly, help us do the very hard work that we do every day in schools. So now, 3 years later, every year before students arrive, we first share the norms with our teachers new to ACS. And then as a whole faculty, we revisit those norms to ensure a common understanding and congruence. We also offer examples of where we saw the norms in action in the previous year, and we recommit ourselves to honoring them in our work. During back to school night, I revisit the norms with our parent community, and I engage in the same recalibration every year with our parent grade level liaisons. And during the course of the year, we formally bring these 4 norms into any space where we're working together. Now, I should mention, originally, I knew I wanted to launch these to our students, but I wasn't quite sure how to do that. But needless to say, our incredible faculty did it on their own. And before I knew it, they were using these norms in their classroom, bringing them to student leadership groups, and all of a sudden the trickle effect to all of the stakeholders was very, very impactful. And so now these norms, thanks to a lot of our teachers, are physically present in many of our classrooms. Our teachers and our counselors allocate time at the start of the year to talk about how these norms serve our community and what we expect of ourselves and of one another. So, as we all know, school culture is one of the most important responsibilities of a leader. And the adoption of these four norms has had a very important and positive impact on our culture. Over the last 3 years, they've helped us have a shared vision, a common language, and created a brave space for us to engage in meaningful work. And over the last 16 months, certainly the most challenging in my professional career, these norms really served as the anchor that we needed in the storm of all storms. So, in closing, my pearl of wisdom as you recalibrate for the year ahead or prepare to transition to a new school is consider the value of creating norms for your learning community. 4 years later, they have made a very significant impact on ours.